In this episode of the Swearwolves Horror Podcast YouTube channel, we are going to be talking about my latest pickup, which is this Predator Jungle Hunter from NECA. Not a new figure, but new to me. Welcome to the Swearwolves Horror Podcast YouTube channel. I'm Brett, and if you're a returning subscriber, I just want to say thank you for coming back. And if you're new to this channel, I want to say thank you for stopping by. Please consider clicking the subscribe button as well as the notification bell below. We upload videos on a regular basis in which we review anything and everything horror, from action figures and toys, to soundtracks, to various collectibles, you name it. And today we're going to be talking about this figure from NECA, the Predator Jungle Hunter Predator. This is not a new figure necessarily, but it is a figure that I hadn't found and I hadn't picked up in a while, so I wanted to pick it up. It's one of those ones that just kind of put off for a while. So here it is in its box, and we had a couple of shots of that box right here. And then, of course, if we open up the flap, there he is in all his glory. But we don't want to keep the Predator inside of his box. We want to open our figures. We want to touch them. We want to pose them and see what they really look like. So we're not mitten box collectors. That's not what we do here on the Swearwolves. So we're going to open this up and take a closer look at the Jungle Hunter Predator. All right, we got the figure open, and I got to tell you, just from opening it and taking a look at the figure briefly, I don't really study them much before I actually review them. I just open them up, put them out here, and then talk about them. But just taking a look at him very briefly, I see that he's probably one of my favorite ones that I've opened so far. But let's take a look at the actual figure itself in just a second. Before we get to that, let's talk about some of the accessories that he comes with, or actually all the accessories that he comes with. Starting with this first, we got a nice skull and spinal cord right here. Great detail on this. If this picks it up, you just got the skull and his whole spine attached to it. You know, because the Predator just rips people's heads off. It's like straight out of Mortal Kombat. It just rips their heads off and their spine comes with it. So, very cool accessory here. We'll put that little guy, we'll put him aside over here. It also comes with just a skull, which I guess some of these accessories, if you didn't want to use them with necessarily the Predator, however you had your Predator set up, you could use this, like, I don't know, with somebody else, like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like a Leatherface character. It would look really cool. Great detail on that skull as well. Let's talk about this little backpack here it comes with. So yeah, you got a backpack that kind of clips on his shoulder, and it has this gun right here. Now, a lot of people, I wanted to mention this as I show you the detail on this little weapon here. A lot of people, consider Predator a sci-fi movie, which I guess at its heart it really is, but it's also falls into that horror category as far as I'm concerned, because it's also kind of a monster movie. If you think about it, there's a monster chasing after people. So we do have those horror elements to it. It's got this blaster right here on the top, and it also comes with this like action firing blast that you can attach to that blaster. And it's kind of loose, but it'll hold that and look like it's firing. I guess that's what it looks like when it's firing. Kind of a cool little feature for those of you who take action figure photos. So the backpack is right there. Let's move on to the hands before we get to the alternate head. Oops. We got two extra hands here opened up, so they can hold things, maybe hold the skull or the mask. Get them to focus here. Good sculpting of the hands. I really like these. You can see all the detail. It's one thing that NECA does really well is they do a lot of good detail work on all of their sculpts, which is very much appreciated by those that collect. All right, those are the hands. Moving on to the mask. So this mask right here is just a replica of this mask, except for it's not attached. This mask is attached. You can't take it off. It's like a masked head. And then this one is the detached version of that. So like when he takes his mask off to reveal his lovely face. And there he is, the monster that we all know and love, the Predator. I remember seeing this movie when I was a kid, and it was so gross, so disgusting when he reveals and he opens that mouth and it kind of opens sideways and then up and down. It's such a gross, awesome look. And his hair, or tentacles rather, whatever they are this nice soft rubber that really cool. And then the face, obviously. We got the detail on the face here. And the mouth. And so this head, we can replace that head with this head if we so choose. So let's set the head down. It doesn't really want to sit. I had it kind of up on the hair like that, but we'll just leave it be. Now on to the big boy himself. Like I said, I first opened this up, and I got to tell you, this figure has good weight to it. Like, it's a very, like, I don't know, it's just a hefty figure. It's got a lot of detail going on here. But let's talk about articulation first, and then we'll get into the detail. Of course, we got the head. Obviously, the head's going to spin. It doesn't really go up and down much. It just spins from left to right. At the shoulders, we got full mobility in the shoulders. It is kind of blocked by his armor right here on this side, but this side he does have that full mobility. Turns up there at the upper part of the bicep and bends at the elbow. We also got turning of the wrist. One thing also is that this opens to reveal his little timer. It also rotates at the forearm. So we have the bend at the elbow and the rotating forearm, which is a kind of a cool scene that you could replicate from the movie, especially if you had a Dutch character, the Arnold Schwarzenegger character, which they do have. Again, the left side is just the same as the right side, except for on this side. Well, we'll talk about the details in a second. We have bending kind of at the waist and this upper torso portion. He does turn that upper torso and then turns at the waist. And we have the hips, they move in and out, side to side. The knees bend. And we also have the ankles, which bend up and down, side to side. So pretty much your standard articulation here. Looking at the figure, we'll start at the helmet. Well, this is the helmet that we already saw. Like I said, it's just pretty much just an exact duplicate as this helmet is just that you can't take that one off. So reveal it, reveal his face. His armor, the hair is the same. We'll get around to the hair on the backside. We got his armor here, which you have all this detail in this armor. Look at that. He's even got a necklace made of bones. Various victims that have come into contact with the Predator. He's got like these side bandoliers of bones and little animal skulls. We talked about his gauntlet, which opens up his wrist gauntlet there. The hands are, this is just a closed version of the hand. So he can hold like maybe this guy in his hand there. On this side, we have this weapon, which is kind of like a Wolverine claw-like type weapon. We have the fishnet kind of pattern here of his outfit, and then his shorts, and then we have his armor plates on his hips and his knee pads, and then down to his shins and calves. And then he's got his big old alien feet, pegs on the bottom if you want to stand him on pegs. Backside, again, we have this hair. It's this nice soft rubbery hair. There's his bandoliers that we were talking about earlier. The backside of his armor, and the backside of his little shorts, loincloth, more fishnets, and then down to the backside of his feet with this little, I don't know, what do they call those on dogs? Dew claws? Little hind claws there, so you can really dig in. This is a bad figure. This figure is pretty gnarly, and I'm really digging all the detail that they put into this. I put off getting this figure for a long time. I don't know why. I just, I don't know. I just put it off. But I'm glad that I finally found him, and I did pick him up. I don't know how I'm going to pose him. I did see one of the poses in there on the box where it had him like holding the skull. So maybe I'll take his hands off right now, or at least one of his hands, put a skull in there, pop his masked head off, put on the other one, and let's see what that looks like. I should say, I don't know if any of you have ever taken the head off of your figures, so let's go ahead and show how you do that. You just kind of grab it and pop it right off. It's not really that difficult. It is something that I was a little bit nervous to do the first time I ever did it, because I was thinking, oh my gosh, what if I break the little peg? Then you just shove on the new head. Well, you shove on the new head onto this peg. Hold on one second. It's a lot easier to do when you don't have to do it in front of a camera, but it's not that difficult to do. So there he is with his new head on, and kind of the same thing for the hands. We can just pop off. Let's see, we want to put his right hand on, so we're gonna take this hand and just pull it out. Again, something easier done, not in front of a camera. And you see there's just a little hole there, and that's where the new peg from this hand will go in. And just pop it in. Now you don't have to be super delicate with it, but you do want to be somewhat delicate, because you don't want to pop off these little pegs here. But that's pretty much it. That's as easy as it is to replace the head. So if any of the action figures that you have alternate heads or alternate hands, don't be afraid to play around with them a little bit. One other thing that I wanted to show here was this backpack. You can see there's a little notch right about there, and that fits into this notch right about there. So if we kind of get his hair out of the way, and you can fit that notch in there, and then this clips, maybe we'll clip that in first and then put that notch on. There we go. And there's his backpack. So he is fully armed and quite operational. Just like that, we have our Predator figure, and if we can grab the skull, he will just be holding up his trophy and taking a look at it. All right, if you like this video, please click the like button below. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed and you feel so inclined, click both the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. We are the Swearwolves Horror Podcast, and we do a weekly show in which we review horror movies. So please check us out by searching for The Swearwolves wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Or you can also visit our website at theswearwolves.com. So for The Swearwolves, I'm Brett. Hi, this is Brett with the Swearwolves, and when I'm not editing videos or making content for YouTube, I just sit here and wait. Just wait. If you like the video that you just saw, go ahead and check that video out right there. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button right there. I'll wait.